Hi and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. What are some of the signs that Volusia County is rebounding from the recession? Well, that was the focus of Volusia County Chair Jason Davis's recent State of the County address. And with turtle nesting season on the horizon, Community Information Director Dave Byron will sit down to chat turtles with Volusia County's Environmental Management Division Habitat Conservation Plan Manager Jennifer Winters. Those stories, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. The future looks bright for Volusia County, which is rebounding from the Great Recession and is experiencing an increase in economic development. So said Volusia County Chair Jason Davis in his recently presented annual State of the County address that looked back at the county's accomplishments during 2013.
This is an exciting time for Volusia County. Signs of progress are everywhere you look. From the Ocean Center to the St. Johns River, from the Speedway track and its expansion is in high gear. The One Daytona retail and residential complex planned for the property across the street from the Speedway has just signed its first 2 tenants. The Bass Pro Shops and Cobb Theaters are coming to Volusia County. The Hard Rock and the Proto Group hotels are in development, and several other hotels have started million-dollar renovations. Trader Joe's grocery store chain has said it would like to locate an $88 million food distribution center in Daytona Beach. Next month, Sunrail will be taking commuters between DeBary and Orlando. This is truly an exciting time in Volusia County. These multi-million-dollar projects are expected to create thousands of new jobs as well as draw tourists, businesses, and new residents to our area. These are game changers in Volusia County and a chance for our community to finally fulfill its potential as a world-class tourism destination with a healthy and a diverse economy.
County Chair Davis also pointed out that real estate sales and construction activity have increased in Volusia County. Economic development efforts are focusing on helping existing businesses grow and supporting new companies that are just starting out. Davis cited the county's involvement in negotiations to bring a massive regional warehouse for the Trader Joe's grocery chain to Daytona Beach. This project would bring 450 new jobs to Volusia County. The chair also highlighted the upswing in passenger traffic at the county-operated Daytona Beach International Airport, overall one of the 3 busiest airports in Florida. Passenger traffic at the airport exceeded 600,000 last year, the highest level since 2008. Meanwhile, the commitment to make the county government greener and more energy efficient continues to reduce the county's carbon footprint and save money. Green steps taken include the installation of automated controls in administrative buildings to purchasing hybrid diesel buses for Votran. Some of the high-profile projects on the horizon include Sunrail, which will open its DeBary station May 1st, and construction on the high-rise replacement project for the Orange Avenue Bridge, which will begin early next year. To view the speech, you can go onto the county's website, volusia.org. Votran, the county's public transportation agency, has been experiencing significant growth in ridership. This growth has resulted in more people calling the office with questions about bus schedules and routes. To keep up with the demand, Votran is now offering customers new technology tools that provide instant and real-time access to route schedule and stop information. 3 new tools include My Stop mobile app, Text for Next Bus, and Google Trip Planner. The My Stop mobile app allows customers to get real-time Votran bus arrival information to an individual stop, find the nearest Votran bus stop, set alerts for specific routes, and allows for trip planning from point A to point B using Google Transit. Currently, MyStop Mobile is only available to iPhones, but should be coming out in an Android version soon. The app is free and available for Apple operating systems. Another new technology tool is Text for a Bus. Votran General Manager Steve Scherer explained how the feature works.
Another exciting rider tool that we have available now is the Text for Next Bus feature. So if you're familiar with text messaging on your telephone, you will soon be able to text the unique bus stop identification number to a telephone number and have that feature text you back within a matter of seconds the real-time bus arrival information for that stop that you're standing at.
Earlier this year, Votran launched a new website that includes a number of enhancements to improve access to information for customers. One of these enhancements is the Google Trip Planner, which can be accessed from the MyStop app or from a computer or tablet.
One of the things that you'll find at Votran.org is a link to the Google Transit Trip Planner, and it'll give you all the Votran route information on how to get from point A to point B. It'll tell you which route to take. It'll tell you what time to be there. It'll tell you how much it'll cost you to make your trip.
The new technology tools are available now, and for more information, you can visit Votran.org. Passenger traffic at Daytona Beach International Airport continues its upward climb. Passenger traffic rose from 61,062 last March to 63,146 this March, an increase of 3%. For the year ending March 31st, traffic is up 4% from 582,925 to 609,108. Daytona Beach International Airport officials say the increase in passenger traffic is due to an upswing in the economy. As a result, the airline serving DBIA will be adding more seats in May.
We believe the reason for the increase in traffic is due to just an increase in the economy as a whole. It seems to be nationwide. A lot of the airports have a continued increase. Airlines are putting more seats into the market. In fact, we just received our May schedule, and there's an increase in seats in May of this year compared to May of last year, which is a good positive indicator of continued growth in this market.
The airport's main carriers, Delta and U.S. Air, reported 94% of the available seats were filled during the month. This is an increase of 2% from March a year ago. For more information and for flight schedules, you can go to flydaytonafirst.com.
Hello, I'm Reggie Santilli, and I'm a member of Volusia Eco Advisory Committee. The volunteer group works closely with Volusia County Council and makes recommendations on projects that enhance the quality of life for our citizens. It's an honor and a pleasure to serve in this capacity. If you would like to share your skills and serve your community, why not consider joining one of Volusia County's advisory boards? We have openings on several boards. If you want to make a difference in your community, please visit volusia.org/advisory.
The Florida Department of Health in Volusia County, Bethune-Cookman University, and Halifax Health recently hosted the 2014 Health Equity Summit. This annual summit is in recognition of National Minority Health Month. This year's theme is Prevention is Power, taking action for health equity. Stephanie Strong has more in this segment of Community Health Matters.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, health equity is achieved when every person has the opportunity to attain his or her full health potential, and no one is disadvantaged from achieving this potential because of social position or other socially determined circumstances.
Where we live impacts our health. Where we live, where we work, where we play, and it reflects the fact that our health is more than just health care. Our health is impacted by the conditions in which we grow up. Our physical environment, our social environment, our economic environment, and unfortunately, health really is very closely linked with education. The more education folks have, the more likely they are to have good health, and the less education folks have, the more likely they are to have poor health.
More than 100 community partners and public health workers attended the 2014 Health Equity Summit, hosted by the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County, Bethune-Cookman University, and Halifax Health. This annual summit is in recognition of National Minority Health Month. This year's theme is Prevention is Power, Taking Action for Health Equity.
We know that minority men in our communities tend to be the one population that seems to be left behind. If you look at the mortality rates of men, they tend to be higher than women. When we break it down and look at minority men, particularly black men, their mortality rate is the highest of all groups. And I don't think that we have focused enough on that particular population, so we have a lot of programs in place educating minority men about the importance of taking care of themselves.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, in 2010, just over 196,000 men in the United States were diagnosed with prostate cancer. 28,560 men in the United States died from prostate cancer. Prostate cancer has an overwhelming impact on black men. Many may be uncomfortable with seeing a doctor.
It's not a fun exam, most men will tell you, but what we look at is, you're doing this not just for yourself. You're doing it for your family, your wife, your kids, grandkids if you have grandkids. So you have to stop being selfish and thinking, well, I'm not going to get it done because I'm scared or I don't have time or whatever. And you just have to get it done because it's not just you. You tend to be, if you're the male, in a lot of cases, the primary breadwinner. What happens if something happens to you?
The Florida Department of Health's Office of Minority Health recognizes 7 key areas for health disparities, which are HIV/AIDS, cancer, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, infant mortality, immunizations, and oral health. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
If you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can always log on to volusiahealth.com. With summer approaching, now is the time to prepare your property's landscaping over the next 9 weeks. Our horticultural expert, Joe Sewards, is going to share with you 9 principles of Florida-friendly landscaping, starting off with placing the right plant in the right place.
Hi, this is Joe Sewards, and this is Horticulture Today. Over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about Florida-friendly landscaping and the 9 principles. The 9 principles of Florida-friendly landscaping are right plant, right place, watering efficiently, fertilizing appropriately, managing landscape pests responsibly, mulching, recycling, attracting wildlife, reducing stormwater runoff, and protecting the waterfront. Today, we're going to talk about what I feel is the most important principle of Florida-friendly landscaping, which is right plant, right place. If you put the right plant in the right place, that will solve 90% of landscape problems going forward. A plant that is adapted to whatever site it's planted in has a much better chance of long-term survival than trying to force a plant to grow in a situation to which it is not adapted. For example, if you have a shady area in your lawn, you want to select plants that will grow well in shady areas. If you have a dry area, you want to select plants that will grow in a dry area. If you have a wet area, you want to select plants that will grow well in a wet area, and so on and so forth. Size also factors into this. Many times people will plant a shrub in front of a window that will get too big, and then they are forced to continually prune that plant. Over pruning to make a plant fit a certain situation causes stress on that plant That plant will then become more susceptible to insects and diseases. When plants are not healthy, people will often over-fertilize and overwater as well. So make sure that you plant a plant that is going to fit in the area where you're going to plant it. To give you an example, if you have a window that is 4 feet off the ground, you want to select a shrub that's going to get around 4 feet tall, something dwarf perhaps, that you'll never, or at least rarely, have to prune. That reduces stress on the plant, reduces long-term maintenance costs, saves you money, and it will also result in a happier, healthier plant that will live for years. Right plant, right place is the most important part of the Florida Friendly Landscaping Program. Sun, shade, the type of soil you have will factor into it as well. The closer you get to the beach, the more alkaline your soils are going to be. You want to choose plants that are going to grow well in those kinds of conditions. So, we've now been introduced to the 9 principles of Florida Friendly Landscaping. Today we learned about number 1, right plant, right place. You do that, most of your other problems going forward will be eliminated. Join us next time when we're going to learn about principle number 2, which is watering efficiently. For Horticulture Today, this is Joe Sewards.
Well, it's time now to head into the studio to join our very own Community Information Director, Dave Byron, with his guest, Habitat Conservation Plan Manager, Jennifer Winters of Environmental Management. They'll be chatting about turtles nesting on Volusia County beaches.
Well, thanks, Amber, and hi, everyone. The 2014 turtle nesting season for Volusia County beaches begins May 1st. This 5-month observation of turtle nesting habits is closely watched by Volusia County and, in particular, key staff of our Environmental Management Division. Jennifer Winters, our Habitat Conservation Plan Manager, is with us today to discuss what we can expect this turtle season and how residents and visitors can help facilitate the successful nesting of these and other coastal animals. Jennifer, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Dave. Great to see you.
Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for coming back. You know, we have you in just before May 1st every year. Hey, for those folks that may be new to the area, may not be familiar with turtle nesting season, which begins May 1st, why is this so important?
Well, it's our favorite time of year. It's exciting. Our summertime, you know, doesn't only bring warm weather and warm waters for people to enjoy. It brings our sea turtles in to nest. They come in every night throughout the summer and they'll lay eggs in the sand, and it's a pretty exciting thing to be a witness to or be a part of.
And typically nesting season runs, I said it started May 1st. When does it typically end?
Well, it typically starts tapering off around the end of September, but we will have some nests remaining and hatch into October.
Yeah, we know some of the turtles didn't get the message that it's May 1 to.
Right.
Sometimes you can get nests really before the season typically starts and sometimes later in the season as well.
Right, that's correct. We actually have one nest that's already been laid.
That's what I meant. You know, I guess that turtle didn't get the memo.
Right.
Hey, what's the county doing to try to keep in touch with citizens, let them know the season is underway? What do you do to contact the beachfront residents?
Well, there's a number of different ways that we do that. We've got a website is a great resource that we get in touch with people. We also do a seasonal mail out every year to all of the residents within the sea turtle lighting ordinance boundary to remind them about nesting season and things that they can do to make the beaches safer for both sea turtles and people.
When nesting season starts, as I understand it, the beach goes dark at night. You can't have any light source viewable on the ocean side if you have a property along the beach, the hotels and so forth. Tell us what the requirements are in this night lighting ordinance.
Okay. There's 3 main parts of our ordinance, and it requires that no source of light be visible from the beach. That's an easy one, so you can direct lights downward and sort of angle them so they're not facing the beach. And then the second part is no reflective surface of the fixture should be visible. And that applies a lot of cases to pole-mounted lights that are highly reflective and high up in the air. Again, those types of lights can be shielded to reduce that amount of reflection, because as you're standing on the beach, that light can actually appear as bright as a bulb. And then the third part is that none of your lights should illuminate the beach. So
Right.
they shouldn't light up the sand. If you
Right.
walk out in front of your property and you see a shadow being cast with a light behind you, then that light probably needs to be redirected or shielded as well.
And why is that important to have the beach dark at night, Jennifer?
Well, because sea turtles are really sensitive to light, especially artificial light that's bright in color. It can deter them from coming into areas to lay nests, and it also can confuse the hatchlings as they're emerging from nests. The hatchlings are instinctually attracted to go to the brightest horizon, and a the developed environment, a lot of times that'll be areas where there's a lot of artificial lighting, like roadways and people's properties,
Right.
away from the ocean. So if we can reduce the amount of lights that are visible from the beach and are illuminating the beach, that helps the turtles orient towards the water where they need to be.
Typically, they want to go toward the moonlit ocean, I guess.
That's correct.
And Jennifer, this is not, to have a night lighting ordinance is not untypical in the state of Florida. Many beaches, I think, have similar rules than ours.
Right. Almost every single county, coastal county in Florida has a similar ordinance.
And Jennifer, we should probably point out that these sea turtles are federally protected species, are they not?
Right, that's correct. They're actually protected by state, federal, and international laws as well.
Right. When it comes to sea turtle nesting season, I know you and your folks, along with the volunteers, you're out there real early in the morning. Take us through what you have to do in the morning.
Okay, well, every morning before dawn, there's 4 different routes that we have throughout the county beaches, and people will meet in different areas, and they'll get in vehicles, sometimes trucks, sometimes a UTV, and they'll patrol a section of beach, and they're looking for fresh turtle crawl tracks. And each individual turtle leaves a very distinctive crawl track in the sand, and these volunteers can identify what species of turtle came up out of the water and whether they laid eggs or not.
Right.
In some instances they won't lay eggs, and if they do lay, then they'll mark off those nest areas with stakes and ribbons and put a sign on it to clearly identify it, so that people that are using the beach will sort of avoid those areas where the eggs are laid in the sand.
And all those nests, if I understand it, have to be marked before the beach can actually open in the morning. Is that correct?
Right, that's correct. So before we can open the beach to public driving, all of this work has to be done before 8 a.m. So they're really busy, and some mornings, it takes a long time to mark all the nests when we get into the peak of the season.
When the beach is closed, let's say late in the afternoon when when the public goes off the beach and so forth, don't you have to clean up and kind of rake the beach to get it ready, actually, for the nesting activity?
Right, we do that as well. It's particularly, we're paying attention to the ruts left from the vehicles that are traversing north and south along the beach. As we get into the middle of our season and the nests begin to hatch, those ruts can really pose a major obstacle for the hatchlings coming out of the nest, again, trying to make their way to the water.
Right.
These vehicle ruts can be very deep in some of the soft sand areas. So we have crews of people who go out and they smooth the sand in front of those nests, and they remove other obstacles. That's another thing we like to remind visitors, is to please, take all of your trash and your beach furniture with you back off the beach when you're done for the day.
And I guess the kind of the guiding set of principles that we're going by is all spelled out in the Habitat Conservation Plan. Tell us about the plan and why this is important.
Well, our Habitat Conservation Plan, it links back to a federal permit that the county has for beach driving, and that's a very important thing that we want to, keep continuing to have happen here in Volusia. So with that permit, the HCP spells out ways that we're going to help protect our sea turtles and other protected species that use our beaches. And the lighting ordinance was originally put into effect because of that plan.
Right.
So that was one of the things that was listed as a mitigation factor for any impacts that the vehicular traffic would possibly cause to sea turtles. In return, we would, enforce this ordinance, which has, effectively helped save many sea turtles over the years.
Well, I was going to say, speaking about being effective, we ought to get lots of extra credit for the good work that's being done at the Marine Science Center, because really that has gained really a national reputation for the work they do to rehabilitate
Yes.
sea turtles. So, I mean, they do great work over there.
They do, and the Marine Science Center, they just had our Turtle Day this past weekend, and it's become a very popular place that far exceeds any of our mitigation requirements according to the HCP. They rescue and release, you know, lots of turtles, birds, and their education component is just huge and very well received by the public.
Well, Jennifer, for people out there that may want to make sure that they understand what the night lighting ordinance is, or perhaps what they can do to be good stewards of the environment, how can people get more information?
We'll certainly visit our website, which is www.volusiaseaturtles.org. They can call our office, but I would definitely recommend that they start with the website and look up, you know, all kinds of different information from lighting to sea turtle biology.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing the information. It's always good to have you back. It really does appear that all these efforts, all these years, really are translating into higher numbers, which is a good thing.
Yep, I agree, and I'm proud to be a part of the program, so thanks for having me again.
Our guest today, Jennifer Winters with the county's Environmental Management Division. And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio program. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.